All right, let's talk about something that can totally change the game for a business analyst. We're going to look at how you can go from just being a task taker to becoming a true strategic partner. And we'll do it by digging into 3 awesome stories that really show what great business analysis looks like in the real world. So, let me ask you this. What's the real difference between a project that just crashes and burns and one that becomes a massive success? I mean, you've seen it, right? 2 projects, similar goals, similar budgets, one completely fizzles out while the other just takes off. What's the secret ingredient? Well, it's not luck, and it's definitely not magic. More often than not, that secret weapon is a strategic business analyst. Someone who goes way beyond the surface level requests to figure out what the business actually truly needs. Let's see exactly how they pull it off. Okay, our first story kicks off with a situation that I'm sure is going to sound very, very familiar. A client comes to the team, and they have what seems like a super specific, straightforward request. And there it is, the classic request. This isn't a problem, it's a solution somebody already dreamed up. Now, a typical task taker might just write this down, send it over to the devs, and call it a day. But a strategic BA, they know their real job is just getting started. So this is where it gets interesting. The BA started asking questions, not just what, but why. And by digging deeper, they found out the client's real problem had absolutely nothing to do with social media. The real fire, the thing causing all the pain, was a crazy high number of customers abandoning their shopping carts because the checkout process was clunky and just plain frustrating. And this right here, this is the playbook. It's a relentless but totally respectful hunt for the root cause. You have to keep probing, right? Peeling back the layers of assumptions, asking why again and again until you get past the proposed solution, that login button, and get down to the true business need. And the results of tackling the right problem? Well, they speak for themselves. Instead of wasting time and money on a login button that wouldn't have helped, the team redesigned the checkout process. The outcome? A massive 20% increase in sales. I mean, that is a huge, tangible impact right on the company's bottom line. So the big takeaway here is crystal clear. Your job isn't just to write down what people ask for, it's to understand what they really need. You have to be a detective. Always, always dig for the why. Let's move on to our second story. This one tackles another classic project killer, stakeholder conflict. When different departments are just pulling the project in totally opposite directions. Just picture this scene, okay? The head of sales is pounding the table, yelling, "My feature's the top priority." But across the table, the head of finance is pushing back hard, saying, "No way, your feature's too expensive. My cost-saving initiative should come first." And just like that, the project is completely deadlocked. So, how do you break a stalemate like that? Well, this is where the BA worked some real magic. Instead of letting it be a battle of opinions, they brought in an objective framework. They got both sides to analyze each feature based on clear metrics. What's the business value? What's the cost? What's the risk? Suddenly, all the emotion and personal agendas started to fade into the background. The BA didn't pick a winner here. They didn't take sides, they acted like a neutral diplomat. Their only goal was to bring clarity, to shine a light on the facts so that the stakeholders themselves could see the best path forward for the entire business, not just for their own department. And that brings us to another huge lesson. Your power often comes from facilitation, not from dictating orders. When you ground the conversation in data and shared goals, you empower leaders to make smarter decisions and get the project moving again. Okay, our final story is all about the most important stakeholder of all, and also the one who is most often forgotten, the end user. This question is honestly a bit chilling, isn't it? A company can pour millions of dollars into building a system that's technically perfect. But if the people it's actually built for find it confusing or hard to use, the project is a total failure. User adoption is everything. So, how do you avoid that nightmare scenario? A strategic BA gets out from behind their desk. They go and literally sit with the actual users. They watch them work, they listen to them complain, they really understand their day-to-day reality. They even test out early ideas with something as simple as a paper prototype, just to get feedback before anyone writes a single line of code. And the result of that user-focused approach? An incredible 90% adoption rate in the very first month. Think about that.
9 out of 10 employees jumped on board and embraced the new system immediately. They loved it because it was designed for them and with them, a complete game changer.
And that's our final lesson, and it's a profound one. You have to be the ultimate champion for the end user. You have to be their voice in every meeting, in every decision. Because if the user won't adopt it, the project has no value. It's that simple. So, we've walked through these 3 stories. What does it all mean for you? How can you start making this kind of strategic impact on your own projects starting tomorrow? It really all boils down to these 3 core principles. First, always ask why to get past what people are asking for and find the real business problem. Second, be that neutral facilitator who uses data to build agreement. And third, be the loudest, most relentless champion for the end user. So I'll leave you with this one last thought. Think about the project you're working on right now. Can you confidently answer that question? Finding that answer, that's your first step to moving from being a task taker to becoming a truly strategic partner. Thanks for joining me.